Good morning. Good morning. We are picking back up on our anatomy and physiology for natural hair. Let's definitely, I think we had the assignment of going ahead and making sure we read through everything. And we stopped off at the muscles, but we did review the bones, going back to the muscles. And I just want to pick up at the muscles. I think I was talking about the last time that we met, muscles of the scalp and how they are similar to the bones of the scalp and the skull. A lot of times when we look at the muscles on a beauty aspect, we don't spend a whole lot of time in anatomy and physiology, but I totally believe that whatever you're touching, you need to understand how it works, the functions, the action. If you touch this, what happens? If you do this, what happens? So that absolutely is the truth all the way around. Let me get plugged up here so power don't die. I hope y'all are doing amazing this morning. I'm ready to go.
I'm doing well.
Awesome.
I'm doing good.
Great. I am doing well as also. I'm just excited about getting y'all through this. And as you know, this is one of my favorite chapters. So kind of like with our beauty license, it just kind of adds over into the medical field. And so long as we know what we're doing, what we're touching, the cause and effect of different things, we're going to be all right. Okay. We are recording for your review. We will post this in our group. And so Miss Jarrett, I want to share our group with you at the end of class, okay? Once we start recording. So when we look at the muscles of the scalp, we know that there's epicranius, but the epicranius consists of the occipitalis and the frontalis. It's known as the occipitofrontalis. So it is the muscle that covers the forehead. Okay. It draws the wrinkles across the forehead. So a lot of times when you see in those wrinkles across the forehead, you can say, relax your frontalis. Okay. And the occipitalis, of course, is the back of the head. Okay. It draws the scalp backwards. So if the frontalis pulls your head down, the occipitalis is going to pull your head back. And both of those together are called the epicranius. And then also epicranius ponderosa. It is the tendon that connects the occipitalis and frontalis muscle. So it's a little rubber band that connects these two muscles together to call them the epicranius. So you have two muscles connected together by a tendon. And a lot of times that's where that stress comes from, is the tension on the tendon, not the muscle. So a lot of times people could say, oh, my back hurt, oh, this hurt, that hurt. But a lot of time it is the stress on those little bitty things that hold things together. And so if we was to look at this, definitely from perimeter to the top, parietal ridge area, the top of the head, a lot of times this is where that tendon connects those two muscles. So when sometimes we're looking at hair loss in that top area or breakage in that top area from our clients, is not sometimes behavioral or what they're adding, what they're doing to their hair. It could be tension and stress that is on that particular tendon right there. All right. So which brings us back. We've had clients, you've seen clients that they did not go bald, but they had breakage in one particular area. And normally the top of the head, okay, where the tendon may be doing the connecting. So it's a lot of tension, a lot of stress. You come in and you start to massage the scalp. You give them a facial massage and you're starting to ease that pressure off of that area. Also, educating your clients about little exercises that they could do. And if you're going to hold your head back, do some rotations. You're going to hold your head forward, do some rotations. Tell them, yes, we need you to brush your hair every night and rubbing your scalp. Brushing that scalp area, it increases blood circulation. Getting the blood back around that area helps relax that tension as well. And by doing the brushing or the scalp massage at night, you are bringing the blood flow to that area. And normally, our cells, organs, skin, everything starts to have this reproduction machine when we are sleeping. And so, in fact, you could be literally bringing the nutrition to those cells, to that hair, as you sleep. And so, that's some good stuff right there. Also, we looked at, once we finished that, we were going over to the nervous system. Now, we did talk about the nervous system being that central nervous system that kind of controls everything. And then your nervous system tells everybody else what to do. Okay. The nervous system works hand in hand with the muscular system. All right. And it also has sends different messages and things throughout the muscles. It can tell you what to move, what not to move. We really do depend on this nervous system. And the nervous system is going to say, hey, we need all these organs and systems to work. And hair, skin, nails, you're good. You can live without that. Okay, but it's going to be the last of the Mohicans when you get ready to, when it gets nourishment. So that's why we do a lot of care on our hair, skin, and nails external, because internally, if we're not eating the nutrients, eating right, there's no good stuff that's coming to our hair, skin, and nails. And because we're on the last of the totem pole to get anything. All right. So we got to make sure we're taking care of everything on the outside, because it's slim pickings when it comes to the inside, unless you are eating properly, you're eating correctly, consistently as well. So when we look at the nervous system, it said the system is important to the natural stylist to effectively deliver scalp massages, during shampoo or treatment services. We deliver scalp massages. All right. So this, I know Jada's gonna be like, what? I don't know where they do this at. I ain't saying nobody do it on here. This is why they don't come shampooed. This is why they don't come shampooed. You know, we even got clients program now. They've been to so many people that don't shampoo. Do I come shampooed or do I not? Okay. It's important that throughout the shampoo service and the treatment that we are massaging, that we put that massage on our clients. And it just helps relax. We got the blood circulation, and also the nervous system is sending messages of relaxation. Okay, it's calming, it's removing pressure and tension. All of that in hand produces better hair and scalp. Let's look at the divisions of the central nervous system, the nervous system. Okay, so one part of the system is the central nervous system, that's the brain, the spinal cord, the spinal nerves, and cranial nerves. So nerves of the face and the scalp. Okay, let me tell you something. This is controlled without our knowledge. We if they sit up and wait on us, the brain sit up and wait on us to do what he got to do, there's gonna be a whole lot of dead people. Okay, we don't control this. What we can control is what we internally take in, and stress can be translated into energy. And so what we internally don't express. And so yes, it's good to make sure, if you have a lot of stress and tension, that you talk to somebody. You find a way to let it out, because internally causes you to be sick in different factors. Okay, that internal stress can make your organ sick. Then symptoms starts coming up about different illnesses and things like that. I know for me, um, when I get to a certain stress level and then I feel sick, I know, oh, I may have done that to myself because I didn't have a way. I ignored the signs of venting and the signs of just kind of letting it out or going finding a hobby. And so now I have a couple of hobbies and it gets overwhelming. I just go do something that does not involve too much thinking. Okay. And it relaxes me. Then I just come back and pick it up. I think I'm just at that age and where it's gonna get done when it gets done. And let me just go over here because it's overwhelming at part A. Let me go over here to B and just kind of chill out for a minute. Then I go back over and pick up A. But when the clients come in, yes, we are shampooing them because it just stated one of the important factors is you giving them those massages. And so getting your hands together, learning how to do a really good shampoo is going to be beneficial to your clients. Peripheral nervous system, it connects the outer parts of the body to the brain, okay, to the central nervous system, to the spine. Has both sensory and motor nerves. Its function is to carry impulses or messages to and from the brain. To and from the brain. Let me go back up to central nervous system as an esthetician and a cosmetologist. We talk about our scope of practice a lot, and so with estheticians, our scope of practice does not include massage on the back, things of that nature. Neither does it cosmetology or natural hair. But the areas that can massage, I encourage my students to do, which are the hands, the feet, the arm up to the elbow, the face, the scalp, for the estheticians, the shoulders, okay? Not the back, nothing in the torso area, legs, nothing of that nature. Even when it comes to our clients getting back treatments, and that's, clearing up acne and things like that on the back, we use hot stones to relax those muscles instead of trying to massage. That's not our job to give the clients body massages. And so what we want to do, we want to relax our clients. I can take the hot stones on the back treatment, the face, the toes, or the hands, and we can put those hot stones on top of those muscles. And that heat will go in, be absorbed into the skin and the muscle and start to relax the muscle. And so heat now is acting as a massage to the muscles instead of you literally taking your hands and massaging. And that's very important because that spinal cord column, the base of the brain, things of that nature, they're all connected. Okay. We're great estheticians and we're great cosmetologists, but I don't want you to touch something that you could mess something up. Okay. And so a lot of times the just the point of touch could be a form of massage. And then you touching things in the wrong places, you could literally mess up something because there's something called reflexology. And if you press that big toe long enough, you can relieve headache tension around your temporal forehead area. If you press the tip of each toe long enough, you'll help relieve the stress of sinuses in that nasal area. It's amazing. You touch around the ankles long enough, you can get some, I call it the grown folk stuff, husband and wife stuff going on. All right. If you're touching the sides of the foot underneath, we're helping with the spleen. So, in the top of the foot, other than the toes, are going to be like head space, chest. Your internal organs are going to be in the middle of the foot. And then everything pelvis down is going to be around the heel area. And so, touch is very, very important. And we do that just simply knowing our parameters, what we can do and what we cannot do. I haven't even broken down the ear. The ear has I feel like it's 1,000 little things. So you touch the ear in one little place, It'll release tension off your liver. It'll release tension off you can't go to the bathroom, but when you get up, you're going to be running to the bathroom. So there are so many other things that we have to be careful about. We're only working within our scope. And touch is going to be very important. And then you have autonomic nervous system. It's the part of the nervous system that controls the involuntary muscles, regulates the action of the smooth muscles, glands, blood vessels, heart, and breathing. We don't regulate that. If it was left up to us, some of us will forget to breathe. Okay? But this helps control that. So that autonomic nervous system is one of the most unique systems ever. And it is unique to every individual because it controls when they breathe, how many paces, the heart, the blood vessels. So that's the circulatory system, the glands, that's the endocrine. They can be the endocrine and the hormone area. It's very unique. Okay, so this one little part that we don't really talk about a lot is really running the show. Okay, make sure we look at our terms that are over to the left, and excuse me, and we look at the brain and spinal cord. So this is some key components I want you to look at. It says the brain is the part of the central nervous system contained in the cranium. It is the largest and most complex nerve tissue and controls sensation. This is why he's like, did somebody touch me? Just the slightest glance of touch, muscles, activity of glands, and the power to think, sense and smell, sense and feel. It says on average, the brain weighs a little less than 1.5 kilograms, which is 3 pounds. It sends and receives messages through 12 pairs of cranial nerves. So here's the thing. We have just located where our brain is. It's at the base of that cranium. All right. So when you look at your occipitalis, okay, your occipital bone and occipitalis muscle, we know that that's right here at the curvature, the base of the head. Okay. The curvature at the base of the head, right above the nape. Those pairs of nerves come out of that curvature, out of that brain, and that base can be found on the sides, what we call nape and neck. All right. And so what happens, those nerves circle around the skeletal system, around the skeletal, which is the face, and also around the cranium. And these nerves flow from the top to the bottom. Okay, this is why we can feel sensation in our toe, touching something, anything. These nerves, these 12 pairs of nerves go down and they come up. This is what I tell people. Some people may get real giggly and say, oh, he just made me feel some kind of way. He touched me, made me feel some kind of way. I think there's something there. There's nothing there. There's 12 pairs of nerves. They're very sensitive. Okay. And so they live and hibernate. Their origin is going to be at the base of that brain. So around the nape, neck, shoulder area can be very sensitive because that's where we have all of our nerves coming from. Okay. It's originating from that area. What we have to do is be very careful how we sleep, how we hug people. I tell my students, we are never doing a choke motion on clients. And then over on the right side, that jugular, we haven't even got to veins yet that supplies the brain with oxygen and blood. We're never doing choke holds and things of that nature, putting your hand around the neck, because one slight pressure, more pressure than the other one, can cause a blockage and stop a flow to the brain. And so we're very sensitive, and we are close, in fact, to doctors because we are learning this and we're dealing with it, and we know certain points, and we need to make sure that we follow our points exactly. Okay, not doing too much and not coming off of it too soon, but we're never moving into those areas. So there's 12 pairs of nerves. A pair is two. So you get like 26 nerves coming out the base of that brain. All right. And it covers the head, face, and neck. And then it goes to all the other parts of the body. Okay. So the nerve sends messages through the muscles and also joints, energy, stress, everything can flow around these nerves. So we want to make sure we're always in a great positive place. We want to make sure that we're cheery. And I tell my aesthetic students, we just learned aromatherapy facials, and we've been learning about essential oils. If you're in the group or on YouTube, the DCI education group, on YouTube, you can see those lessons as well as your lessons. You can see those lessons and those PowerPoints where I talked about aromatherapy facials, but I also talked about top 10 essential oils and the benefits of those essential oils. And a lot of those essential oils are stimulating to the skin, the nerves, the muscles, and things like that. Okay, so it'll be a great add-on for you guys, especially if you're going to be a hair treatments for your clients. And I literally talk a lot about hair treatment with those essential oils, so please make sure you go check it out. We do not dwell, touch anything related into the spinal cord. I see people work on the holistic end of healing, and they may put stones down that spinal cord column. I've had students say, can we put the high stones down the spinal cord column? Remember, working within our scope, we are not practitioners, we're not doctors, we are not we do not know the full range. What you are getting here is just topical information about the anatomy and physiology that helps with us because we deal with hair and it's connected to hair. But don't be fooled. We are not practitioners. We're not chiropractors. You don't know what somebody has going on that's undiscovered or discovered with their spinal cord, spinal area, the nerves in between those. We don't have no knowledge of that. Okay, everything we're learning is topical and it's to help us assist, perform greater services, and benefit the client with through hair treatments. Okay, and so when it comes to people putting stones down the spinal cord, yes, it can be an energy source. Yes, aesthetics, hair stylists, natural hair stylists, we touch clients, and you guys are over clients. We touch clients in their most vulnerable places. And one of their most vulnerable places is their scalp, okay? Their neck and their shoulders. So if the brain and its spinal cord, the 12 pairs of nerves are all in this flow, yes, you have potential of transferring energies. If you ever went to church and they lay hands on you or you saw that happening, that's called holistic healing. As a cosmetologist, natural hair practitioner, esthetician, we have one of the only jobs that allows us to touch people in those places. And literally, when you touch somebody on their shoulders, when they come sit in your chair and you put your hands on their shoulders, be very mindful that you literally can transfer whatever you have going on to that client because you are connecting to like a energy source. All of those nerves together at one time, they pull in and they send messages. What message have you been sending to your clients or to your loved ones when you touch them? Literally. And so if it's the same thing, if someone, you've seen them fall down or you've seen them have a form of deliverance or whatever you've seen as far as the laying on of hand, that's called holistic healing. You do that every day that you service a client and you touch them on their shoulders, you prepare to drape them. Whatever you have going on becomes a transfer, whether it's an energy or whether it's holistic healing. If that client needs peace and you're just a person of peace, you touch that client, you are transferring that peace over to your client. Literally. If you angry and your client angry and both of y'all done had a bad day, somebody gonna have a bad attitude because you're giving them even more charge of your bad day. All right. So sometimes I tell my students, check yourself before you wreck yourself. And that simply means make sure you're good. And we call it backstage. Stay backstage as long as you can. Because when it's time to go to the front, it is showtime. The curtains are going to pull and you have to show up. And you cannot show up as this angry, mad person with all of your problems and sitting on top of your client. And they got issues and problems. You can't do that. And so just being aware of the energy source, and when you touch them, what is happening, it is a transfer of energy, whether it's good or bad, stress, good or bad, whatever. So make sure you're bringing something good to the table when it comes to that. It says 31 pairs of spinal nerves extending from the spinal cord are distributed to the muscles and skin of the trunk and limbs. Okay. The trunk is going to be the chest. And that's mainly that internal chest that holds the organs. Okay. And so those messages are going to those organs, whether good or bad. Okay. And so we want to make sure it's less stress as possible and that we're not transferring that over to the client. Let's look at the circulatory system, which is one of my favorites. It related to the maintenance of good health. The circulatory system, of course, the big main function is the blood. It circulates from the heart through the blood vessels to nourish your entire body. This fluid supplies the body with oxygen and nutrients to the cells and tissues. Y'all, this is where our hair, skin, and nails get our, I say food supply, our nourishment from, the blood. Literally, what you eat, that's what you become. So you are what you eat. If you're eating good things, the waste is going to go over to the excretory system, prepare to be eliminated, and the good things will go to the organs and the cells. But what if you're not eating any good things? It's just bad food. Well, it also gets separated and goes throughout the circulatory system to the cells. So now you're producing bad hair because you're probably not you're eating bad foods. You're putting bad things in your body. So your hair is not producing. Yes, your hair is always growing. Can it be stunted growth? Yeah. Can your hair grow bad? Yeah, it can. Remember, the hair bulb has to feed from the nutrients in the blood. So if the nutrients in the blood are not, they don't know if they're good or bad. They're just feeding off of it. And so, yeah, it's going to produce some hair. That's what it does, but it determines if it's good or is it bad. This is where we also make sure we have increasing our water intake, the average water intake for our size. This is where we also, I'm not a calorie counter. I'm not a person that operates by a 4-letter word called diet. I'm literally scared of that word. I just have built and paced myself on certain things. And I find that works, and building discipline, that works more than anything. So the circulatory system, you have the blood, and then you have carbon dioxide. All right. It said the fluid supplies the body with oxygen and nutrients to the cells and tissues. It also removes carbon dioxide, this is toxins and waste from the cells, and sends it to the excretory system, which means it sends it to be released, and release it most of the time in urine and things of that nature. All right. And so here's a picture of where we look at the lungs and how the circulatory system works. from the heart and the lungs all working together. And then you have your small and large intestines. We'll look at that as well. And stomach. Every other organ gets a blood supply, and they do that through the circulatory system. There are illnesses and things of that nature that, and this can be really sad at times, that sometimes where blood supply cannot get to certain areas, you have life literally leave those limbs. All right. And people end up having to cut off limbs because the blood never has been away from those areas too long, or it doesn't go into those areas. And a lot of time it's the feet, sometimes it's the hands and arms, things of that nature. So we have to be very careful and very mindful when we see these things. We can arise different questions to really find out what happened. Let's look at the lymphatic immune system. This has recently come up in the textbooks. Usually they did not discuss the lymphatic or immune system. So when you see, I see Mr. Denser L/I, that is an added over the last 5 years, that more focus has been on the lymphatic immune system. Okay. And here's where we talk about our glands. And we also have our kidneys, stomach, things of that nature. All of these are starting to work together. Even the reproductive organs are working with this lymphatic immune system. Okay. And so how we feel, how we operate, from sweat glands all the way down to adrenal glands, to those hormones, birth control, all of that, we're talking about this particular system. And when you want to make, really in the time post-pandemic, is around the winter's time, and it's getting cold. You can see COVID outbreaks. It's just popping up again. First thing a lot of people do is start to build their immune system. Okay. And so with the immune system always on the radar, this is something we're talking about more frequently. Okay. What do we need to build our immune system? And I literally need to go, and I was watching a video of a guy, and I'm probably going to post it in the group. And he was talking about, hey, I'm a pharmacist, but I'm telling you what medicines work for colds and what medicines don't. I went to Canada every couple of years. I go to Toronto, but I went to Canada for a show. It was like early October, maybe early October. And I felt it, of course, it was a temperature change, but I literally felt, you could feel when you're going to get sick. And I knew the temperature changing. I didn't have a big jacket. And I was like, yeah, let me go get these meds and start taking them. So at least when I get back home, when it hits, I'm not as bad. And I couldn't find anything that we usually have in the United States. Sudafed and NyQuil, I couldn't find that. And so what I did find was these Canadian versions of cold medicines, and they were a lot of them were mixed with vitamins. And when I tell you, I bought a lot of them, brought them back, and for the rest of that year, I think over into January, those were the meds we were going to in my household because they were more effective than what you were buying at the store. And just to hear him talk about some of the medicines, of the combinations that they don't do in the United States, and how those combinations really shut things down as far as colds and mucus and all that kind of stuff. I was like, I probably need to get on Amazon and try to order or get online and try to order as many of those vitamins and meds that I bought to take me through this particular fall and winter season. But all of that was amazing, and it all helps build what we call the immune system. Okay. And so either the most effective organic thing I did and what I make is lemon, ginger root, honey, and I started to add, I forgot what it is, but I add a few things for cough. But I'm looking for some leaves. I usually add a soursop leaf or something like that. Um, mullein, yeah. I got to go to my friend's farm, and she has an urban farm in Little Rock, and she has mullein. And I want to use mullein this year in my teas because mullein helps build the immune system, gets rid of the mucus, and it's great for coughs. And so you're talking about a whole medicine cabinet just out of your garden. So that's what I want to do. And I'm actually going to call her. That's what I'm going to do. So the ultimate goal is help build this immune system and eliminate waste. So the lymphatic, when you hear people talking about lymphatic drainage, that's going to just cause you to swell. And we've heard that term more frequently since people go get surgeries and they have to push that lymph out, that fluid out. Okay. And you can have it in your face, and there are certain massages that you can do to move that fluid out of the face, and you move it down. And as you begin to move it down from the neck area, it all starts to go down until it's urinated out. Okay. Most of the time, if somebody's on a massage table and you are swollen or you got fluids, you will probably see your masseuse pressing your sides down from under your underarm all the way down to your pelvis. What they're doing is pushing that lymph and fluid down so it will not sit up in the waist area. Okay. And so a lot of times they call it body contouring. It's a part of the body contouring. And it's not the machine. The machine breaks it down. So it's not in lumps. The fat is not in lumps. And then there's fluids and fatty fluids that just push down. And it's all part of the process. When you get up off the table, you definitely got to go to the restroom. Okay. And so this is going to be a particular, very, very popular area for you to learn. And why do I say that? Most of the time, I don't know, with natural hair, your clientele may be 50-50 men and 50-50 women. Okay. But most of the time, if it is men, if it's women, you're going to have women that have a lot of gland issues. Okay. And clients that have gland issues may also resemble hormone reproductive issues. Both of those categories has a major effect on the hair, skin, and nails. Okay. Medications that they're taking for those definitely affects the hair, skin, and nails. Okay. So if we're going to be in beauty and now we're focusing, our hair is our thing, we need to also know and do some additional training on cause and effect. If you take that medicine or you have this condition, what exactly would be the results on the hair, okay, skin or nails? And so your glands is going to be something that you literally will start to research the glands of the body. When it talks about the lymph vessels, okay, with lymphatic fluid, you want to push out. When we're talking about with the face, and you could be like body contouring on the face, you can take those same tools and contour the face. And you could take those same tools and from the spleen, the sides, push all of that fluid down to prepare to exit the body. Having that fluid on your clients or having them with a lot of fluid on the clients, your body walks away from producing its normal activity, and it focuses and concentrates on what is this happening in this particular area. And so you have to tell your clients, help me Well, I help you. You got to make sure you take care of your insides, the internal. Well, I can handle the external. But this is where you tell clients, I think you got this going on. I need you to go get checked out. And once you get checked out and we find out what's going on, your hair is going to look better. Your skin is going to look better. Your nails are going to look better. So they have to have this actual understanding that these glands are a major part of systems. And if the glands are not working, it throws the whole system off. Okay. It said the primary functions of lymphatic immune system are as follows. They carry nourishment from the blood to the body cells, act as a defense against toxins and bacteria, remove waste from the body, cells to the blood, and provide a suitable fluid environment for the cells. Very, very good job description. So we need this lymphatic and immune system. We need it. Let's make sure we learn a little bit more about it. When it comes to the endocrine system, specialized glands, like I told you, we're talking about hormone, estrogen, and endocrine. You're talking about your sweat glands. You're talking about your thyroid. These particular glands, people can have thyroid disease, all kinds of stuff. And most of the time, if someone is dealing with a thyroid issue, you're going to see a result from medication where it thins and weakens the hair. All right. So a lot of tension, a lot of stress relaxers. That's a no-no, or very, you don't do it too often because it does take a toll on the hair. So you just have to be very careful. And as I was talking before, here we go about hormones. So we used to deal with male hormones and female hormones. Now we're dealing with male and female hormones in one person. We're doing it at the same time because now you have the hormone injections where people are going through processes of changing their sexes. And that's clients. You may have to deal with those clients. They are updating education. And whenever you see books and things like that start to be updated and they're adding information on how to treat and handle certain issues and certain things that are come up for transgender, it is a wave. So they're kind of preparing you to handle and giving you information. So get a little more knowledge. It is a wave. You will see somebody, or, whatever their lifestyle is, you will probably see it. But from our aspect, they are adding more education, how to handle the clients that have both hormones. Okay. And that is, it's just been something huge for skincare, because now we used to see women with just like mustache hair and we said, oh, they got a reproductive issue, or an endocrine gland issue. But now it may just be they want that hair on their chin. So we have to, realign ourselves with the information and then move forward. And so they've had estrogen and testosterone. Says the endocrine system includes 8 types of glands. Yes. Even including the ovarian that makes we can have babies, and the testicular. Okay. That's reproductive for the men. And so all of these glands are very important. And a lot of times we need to go deeper in the conversation and ask, do you have any gland illnesses, issues, or irregular things that are going on with your glands? We never talk about it. So it is in the book. Why don't you add that to your consultations? The excretory system, we're talking about the organs of elimination. We eliminate waste. That's the kidneys, the liver, the skin, the large intestines, and the lungs. And so, for instance, for us, we know renal disease, kidney failure. Some clients could have kidney issues. They could literally be on a dialysis machine. What do you do? Okay, what's happening and what do you do? And so it says the excretory system includes the kidneys, liver, skin, large intestines, and lungs. It purifies the body by eliminating waste matter. Metabolism of the cells of the body forms various toxic substances that, if retained, may poison the body. And so when you have clients say, I can't go to the bathroom. I feel like I need to be detoxed. Y'all, they're literally saying these organs need a cleansing. Okay. These organs need a cleansing. For me as an esthetician, one, I will start with the skin. Okay. So I will use something like a clay mask or bentonite clay. I put it in my tub and I sit and it purifies. It pulls whatever's in those pores out. And so you may do this with different factors as well. When we go on the scalp, detoxifiers for the scalp, steamers, things of that nature, you are cleansing those pores out. Respiratory system consists of lungs and air passages. Okay, it allows us to breathe, the act of breathing, and the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the lungs within each cell. And that goes into the blood. Okay, you want to have good blood that comes to us, not the bad blood. And then it has the lungs, spongy tissues composed of microscopic cells in which inhaled air is exchanged for carbon dioxide during one breathing cycle. Okay. So always just asking our clients to relax and breathing. That's something that can really clean out their lungs and it can relax them before your service starts. Okay. Also, I'm not a smoker, but telling your clients that smoke, just advise them during the consultation that smoking will age their skin. And so the more that they smoke, even if they're inhaling one of those little devices, it's aging their skin. Okay. And everything that falls with skin, hair, and nails, if the skin ages, the hair is going to age and the nails. You're going to see a result on all three of them. And so just educating our clients about what's to come and what's going on, and just to prevent them from having issues in the future. We can't stop them, but we can educate them. The reproductive system, okay, includes the ovaries, uterine tubes, uterus, vagina in the female, and testes, prostate gland, penis, and urethra in the male. Okay, it performs the function of producing offspring and passing on the genetic code, which is the DNA, from one generation to another. All right. So when we look at the reproductive system, yes, male, female, here we go again with hormone supplements. We have individuals who are taking from male to female, female to male. Be very cautious. Get educated how this affects their hair, skin, and nails. Y'all, let me tell you, if a client's taking a medication, they're changing their medication, they got to change it 2-3 times before they get it right. And it was within 6 months. You're going to see issues with this client hair, skin, and nails. Okay. And so from medications before birth, after birth, just while in this hormonal replacement, this supplement trial, whatever is going on, they could really see the effect of this on their hair, skin, and nails. Hair could thin, it could become very, very dry, it could break. Okay. So while they're going through these medications, that probably if they didn't have it, it would not give them a great quality of life. So they're taking the medications, they gotta have it. External wise, this is where you have to suggest, well, maybe not this style, maybe not this braid, maybe not this technique, but maybe this one will work. Also, you have to decide their hair grows. You know their hair growth story. It grows faster in the summer and it slows down in the winter. Where in the summer, we're going to do these type of styles since it grows faster. And then in the winter, we'll do this. So it's good for you to know. And they need to educate you on what medications they're taking. All right. And so are they doing any particular procedures when it comes to reproduction? Are they trying to have a baby? Are they on birth control? That's the number one question. And clients, if they have an implant, they would consider that not birth control, not a medication. And so you have to ask the questions, get a little nosy, and ask not just are you on birth control, do you have any implants as well? Are you taking any pills or any sleeves, or do you have anything that you're taking, okay, or that's implanted in your body to stop you from having children? And sometimes you got to go that deeper just to understand, because there's thousands of effects to birth control. Learn a few of them, okay? And then based on where your client's coming from, you'll take whatever illness they got going on, medications they got going on, and you'll build a healthy hair and scalp routine. And you have a category of styles you can do and services you cannot do. Let's look at the digestive system. It's the stomach and intestines. Okay. When you look at the digestive system, this is what they call the GI. All right. You ever had someone that's dealing with reflux and all kind of stuff going on, acid burning, their food cannot digest, those type of conversations, those notes is going to reference the digestive system, the stomach and intestines. You got to be able to process whatever you eat. Okay. And so it definitely, the digestion process, it brings the food into the stomach, goes into the intestines, starts to break down. All right. And the breakdown process starts as soon as you put it into your body. And we're pulling the good stuff and the bad. And the good, of course, is going to make us gorgeous. And the bad also could make us sick. Okay. It says hair is a wonderful indicator of general good health. And so you are what you eat. You want great, amazing hair. I can do only so much on the outside. Tell your clients you have to take care of yourself on the inside. Okay. It says hair receives its nourishment from the foods we eat. And so think about that. If we're eating great foods, we are serving our hair well. If we're not eating great foods, we are not serving our hair well. Okay. And so that's something to think about. It says the scalp and hair receive nourishment from the bloodstream. So we got to make sure that blood is getting to all the hair and scalp area. And there are some places on the scalp that blood tends to not get to. This is where your scalp massages come in. This is where your shampoos and your massaging is coming in. This is where before you start, you can tell your clients, I'm going to do like a 5-minute massage on your scalp just to kind of get things to flowing. Ask your clients to do the same thing at night. Okay. And so you're going to understand, you're going to find out about medications, understand about that. You want them to eat well, because whatever they eat is going into their body. Your stomach and intestines are breaking it down, and they're processing it through the blood system. And the good or the bad will all go through that circulatory system. And either your organ's going to pick up the good or your organ's going to pick up the bad. It says here are some external and internal sources for healthy hair. Oils and fats. They add luster, pliable, nutrients, protection, moisture, keeps hair supple, soft, and hydrated. Vitamins and minerals nourish and fortify hair, and protein restores and strengthens the hair. That's the FYI. Let me give you some tips real quick. I don't know if you want to take note, but oils and fats, rosemary oil, vitamin E oil. Those are my two go-tos. Tea tree oil for oils and fats. Moisture, light and creamy. Fluffy, light, and creamy. That's the texture you want to look for. Vitamins and minerals, vitamin C, vitamin E are my absolute favorite. Vitamin C and vitamin E. And then protein, of course, there's keratin, which strengthens and rebuilds the hair. That's what hair is made up of, majority. I can't talk this morning, but also silk protein. Silk protein for you guys are going to be essential. If hair is made up of 97% protein, which is mostly keratin protein, okay, when the hair starts to break and not look like hair anymore, you need to put back in it what it's made up of. It needs a protein treatment and then it'll start building back up. But what you can do consistently is use silk protein, and it has slip to it. You can add it in your light, fluffy conditioners for moisturizing, but also I would add it with a little distilled water, and now it's a detangler. And so as it starts to detangle and give slip, your hair really do feel silky, give slip to the hair. Um, it's going to be easier to detangle, but also you're going a little bit at a time. You're rebuilding the strength of their hair as you're managing it. So that's why I like silk protein. Okay. And so of those four categories, I just gave you a few things to nod at. All right. Nutrition and maintaining healthy hair. Now, here's where we start to talk about nutrition. Um, I'm a key for organics, and I like good organics. Okay, so go back and watch that PowerPoint about the essential oils. It's great benefit. But Jada and I talk about building products and ingredients all the time. Um, Nini, I want you to look up a website for me, and this is for your reference over the weekend. It's called Making, Making, Cosmetics, COSMETICS.com. MakingCosmetics.com. And so what happens, I want you to look at that website and just look at the ingredients for natural hair or for textured hair, or just ingredients, best ingredients for hair. So you could just put in beautiful hair, moisture conditioner, and you will see the ingredients come in. Put in moisturizing conditioner, and you will see the different ingredients that'll pop up that'll tell you use this, use this, use this. And it's not by product, it's by ingredients. And a friend of mine was asking me what were some of the best products to use. I tell them I don't look at it by products. I look at it as the ingredient makeup. Based on the ingredients, I say this is something I would use. And so we got to make sure that we're putting the good stuff and we're making available to our clients the good stuff. All right. And so, y'all, let me tell you, I'm a professional. I don't like cheap. I'm old school, taught and bred with a little new school jive. Just like you are what you eat, what you invest into your products and skincare, that's what you get out of it. Okay. So of all the pHs, there are certain products, a certain shampoo starts with an S, ends with an E, Suave. I don't want to go into a professional salon and see that on your back bar. That irks me that you are charging top dollar, but your investment into your ingredients that service your clients costs $2. So they are paying for your expertise. That includes products as well. And so if you understand products and ingredients, you're going to understand what the hair needs. And nothing about natural hair is a component of that product. The other one is Tresemme. Nothing. Okay. And so some research needs to be done. I'm looking for moisture. I'm looking for protein. I need the hair hydrated and I need the hair strong. Okay. And quality, yeah, may cost you a little bit. But when I say go look forward, the beautiful results of the hair, you'll be able to afford it. You'll be able to increase those prices the way they should be. All right. And so that's always something I look at. Tea. Tea is good for ingesting in the body and also for the body, exterior wise. Next time you take a bath, take a hot bath, throw you a couple of chamomile tea bags in that bathtub. What happens if you've ever been itchy or anything like that? That chamomile tea bag is going to infuse into that hot water, and it's going to be soothing to your skin naturally. I think you add one or two. You can add a couple of essential oils to it, and some of the essential oils will reduce the swelling. It's going to reduce redness, reduce itching. Sometimes people will say, well, I have oily skin, oily scalp. I cannot put oils on my hair and scalp. There are essential oils that regulate oiliness. So they stop the overproduction of oily skin, oily hair. Okay, it just stops that. And so there are the good and the bad. And so we always focus on the good. And so we got to make sure we have some of the best products and supplies. And I want to go back and correct not products, but ingredients that we're using on the clients. Okay. And it just kind of burnt me up. I just had to say something. Just kind of burnt me up to see what my client could go into Walgreens and purchase. That's what my stylist is using. So if you've never heard of taking it up a notch, you're hearing it now. Never use anything that my client could go over the counter and purchase. One of the biggest aspects of being in the salon and having a license is learning the business component. And number one, that is retail. And number two, clients are paid for something special, something that no one else has. They want to feel that difference. So what's the difference between you and another person and you're charging the same? Is somebody is going to be got it up on the products, on the ingredients. The hair literally is going to look better. So retail is one of those components. I think we'll get into it in a week or so, where you don't even have to perform the service. You're not performing the service at all, but you are selling the product that makes the service even more amazing. And so this is why we're not using anything that our clients could use. And whatever they're bringing in, they can keep that in the cart. We're not using it. All right. And so I know Jada goes to shows and she could tell you about all the products you see. It's great to bring some back that our clients cannot buy off of Amazon. And no way am I investing in a company that also sells their products on Amazon, because my client definitely is going to get it cheaper on Amazon. And so always do your research before just purchasing and recommending. I go out to find new stuff, and I do all the time, and that's what I bring back. Okay. And of course, scalp teas, putting the tea in the steamer, brewing the tea, and then putting the tea in the steamer, and your client is under the steam cap. That brewed tea comes through the steamer and adds as an antioxidant, a hydrator, a moisturizer to the hair and scalp. Amazing. Okay. Clients that are taking in dietary supplements, vitamins, and things like that, they're going to have to slow it down. Losing too much weight at one time or gaining too much weight at one time could be an issue. Clients that are still drinking milk, ice cream, things of that nature. It creates mucus in some cases. Um, and really, people say go to oat milk, go to this, go to that. Look, all of it's still milk. All right. And it can create clogged pores. And if you got clogged pores on the face, you also have clogged pores on the scalp. And so ask your clients to reduce those. And then knowing that, hey, you need a detox, you need a steamer, because if you have been eating and drinking certain things like sugars and all kind of stuff, it can clog the pores. So you do want to open up those pores. So whether you use tea or any other type of steaming agent, you can take essential oils, put it into the steamer, and the essential oil will be a benefit to the scalp as well. It's all kind of stuff. But now we're looking at the how do we build healthy hair? We've done some major corrections. How do we move forward and build healthy hair? And so, as a natural hairstylist, yes, those protective styles are cool, but even more is healthy hair. Healthy hair is cooler. And then, if you could sell retail shampoos, conditioner, treatments, that's the business. Now you're standing on some business. Okay, you're back on at the end of the day. Certain foods that we're eating that have they're high in protein, that are great for our hair, skin, and nails. This is also comes on the healthy aspect of you are what you eat. So yeah, we're looking at fish and we're looking at greens and vegetables. Has always had these great antioxidants for the scalp. All right, and then also beans. Um, Gives you your protein, your iron, your zinc, your biotin. If you don't have the vitamins, definitely eat your beans. And then you have your nuts and seeds. I love it. Brazil nuts, pericillium, walnuts, pecans, almonds, and cashews are excellent sources of essential omega-3 fatty oils and zinc, which means it helps give your hair that luxurious feel. It helps regulate the oil glands as well. And where it has vitamin E, improves body cells with oxygen and increases circulation to the scalp. So when I say that those oils and fatty acids, that vitamin E is essential. That vitamin E is going to be essential. And rosemary is good too. You just don't use rosemary all the time. Okay. Poultry, high in protein, helps strengthen the hair. That's chicken and turkey. Eggs stimulate growth and thicken the cuticle. Okay, so for that thin hair, you're rebuilding damaged hair. You got your eggs. You can also get B12 um, and biotin and B12 for strengthening of the hair too. Whole grain bread, cereals, brown rice are fortified with zinc, iron, biotin, and B vitamins. All the berries are good. Okay. All the berries increases vitamin C, help fight disease. Okay. And then you have low fat, skim, organic dairy milk, almond milk, soy milk, yogurt, cottage cheese. That's your calcium and your protein. And so here's a factor also. This is a study. I can't tell you where it was, but this is a study. Most of the time in America, we're known to get our protein from meat. Protein from meat is not our only source of protein. All right. There's so many other sources of protein. And a lot of people say, I eat my steak because I got to get my protein. You don't have to get your protein. You can get your protein from fish. You can get and I'll talk about meat. I'm talking about steak and beef, all that stuff. And you can get your protein from fish. You can get your protein, like they said, from breads, yogurts, fats, just all different other things, your nuts, everything, rice. There's so many other ways you can get your protein. So if you want to go without meat and you're holding on to meat because this is the only way I'm going to get my protein, that's false. There's so many other ways to get your protein, and you don't have to ingest the whole cow, or the whole pig. Okay, so there's so many other ways, and there's some studies on it as well. And when you look at vegetables, such as beets and carrots, beets are great for the eyes. Beets are also good for blood pressure. These are great sources of vitamin A, and vitamin A is good for the skin. Beets are also great for the skin. It helps rejuvenate the skin and reduce the wrinkles. Um, so I said beets, good vision, and avocados are high in vitamin B and vitamin E. And so you are what you eat. You can really look good based on what you're eating. Okay. This is what I want you to check out. What are free radicals? You'll find products that saying they're radical free, or free binding radicals, or 3 binding radicals. And 3 binding radicals would mean they're taking ingredients and putting them together to just kind of smooth the cuticle without so much using Brazilian blowouts, texturizers, relaxers, things of that nature. Free radicals are unstable organic cells or molecules responsible for human tissue damage and disease. All right. They attempt to attach themselves to healthy cells and destroy or decay the structure of those cells. And so they come together to make something healthier, look smoother, the hair look better. You guys won't use so much appliances, but you'll find that this type of talk and education comes when they're teaching you about flat irons, and they're teaching you about different products you can put on the hair. And so this is some good stuff. Okay. It says once they attach to healthy cells, free radicals create a chain reaction that takes over healthy cells, so that free radicals can multiply. All right. So they can multiply. And when it multiplies, sometimes they become unstable. Okay. What are antioxidants? So we're defining some terms. Let's look at antioxidant vitamins: vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. I absolutely love them. You can these 3 are like 3 pigs in a blanket. Okay. It's great that you're going to eat a variety of fruits and grains if you can get this in. Vitamin C is one of my favorites for skincare. It's ascorbic acid. I like to use it in its liquid form. That's the strongest form of it. Okay. But you can also, pretty much eat it. Literally in skincare can reverse, to me, reverse some aging over a period of time. It's help with dark spots and even out your pigmentation. And so if you're eating vitamin C, it's found in red bell peppers, grapes, berries, molasses, you're definitely starting to build your hair protein fiber up, but also you're helping your skin even out its tone. Okay. And people may say, what are you doing? I'm just eating right. I'm just eating right. And vitamin E helps swell that cuticle, gets that blood circulating, so and promotes hair growth. And so if you don't have the oil, you definitely just do the fish, the oil, nuts, seeds, carrots, avocados, wheat germ, and spinach. Okay. Love the spinach. And wheat germ, you can find that, and you can add that to protein, shampoos, all kind of stuff. All right. And it helps promote healing, and it promotes hair growth. Vitamins, minerals, and dietary supplements. Okay. What are we going to do? Because we went over 50 minutes of just words and talk. So you're going to finish this chapter. We're going to pick back up on vitamins, minerals, and dietary supplements on Monday. And we're going to close out this chapter Monday. Okay. But I want you guys to do some research on vitamins for the hair, vitamins and minerals for the hair. Okay. We just talked about A, C, and E, but vitamins and minerals for the hair. You can go to makingcosmetics.com and look up vitamins and minerals for the hair, or just Google vitamins and minerals, great vitamins and minerals for the hair. I want each of you to have at least 3 to talk about. And I'm going to do the same, and we'll start that off Monday, and then we will move into everything else. Okay. And finishing this chapter. And so, are there any questions? Are y'all still there with me?
I'm here.
Great, great. All right. So you're going to research vitamins and minerals for the hair. It's going to be our Monday morning talk. We're going to discuss that before we finish off this chapter on Monday morning. Y'all have a great and amazing weekend. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call, and look out for your email on our updates. Okay. Y'all have a blessed and amazing evening. See you later.
You too.
A lot of money, okay?
You too, Miss D.
Okay.